It has been a long-standing notion that knowledge is power, and in today's political climate, the knowledge of the presidency has created an overreaching branch that dictates American lives.
Prexo is here to check the executive branch. We are providing citizens the tool of information, allowing them to have a say in presidential actions. We are tracking the president through executive orders, giving users the ability to filter, comment, and communicate with the White House. We are putting the power back into American hands. Hi, I'm Abby Merrill, and I am CEO and founder of Prexo. I'm currently a student at UW-Oshkosh studying political science and anthropology. I first became interested in politics when I was in high school, and I came across the startling fact that only 19% of Americans say they trust their government. After learning about the lack of trust felt by American people, I wanted to create an accessible way for Americans to learn and feel empowered about their government. That is where my journey began.
My journey began in 2018 when I worked for the U.S. Senate and a nonprofit organization that focused on student involvement in elections. Hi, my name is Ian McDonald, and currently I am the Public Relations Manager and co-founder of Prexo.
In Our Hands was the first company I started when I was a junior in high school. It was a political app that notified users on state legislation. Although we did get it uploaded into the app stores, In Our Hands never gained traction. However, it was important because it was the first steps for us to create Prexo, helping us build and grow stronger from the lessons learned earlier.
3 things that we learned from In Our Hands that we've implemented into Prexo are 1, that people are interested in big picture policies, 2, how to validate a revenue model, and 3, that there are already apps that track state and federal legislation. However, there are no apps that track executive orders.
When we started Prexo, we had a large foundation to base our company on, but that does not mean we didn't face challenges.
We already knew that an app that follows executive orders was possible from our work with In Our Hands, and the validation from our student developer team who have just finished our beta version for Prexo, which is available for download. We also knew from our interview with In Our Hands and Prexo, over 200 in total, that people want to be involved with the presidency. But we are still validating the price that users would pay for an upgrade of Prexo and what they would want to pay for that upgrade version. We also struggle to pinpoint our exact target market for this app.
Through our interviews, we learned that people do not like ads. We also learned that users are worried about understanding the language of executive orders. From there, we decided to implement a $2.99 upgrade. There would be an ad-free platform that also provided information on how executive orders impact users' lives. During our beta test this summer, we are hoping to further gather information on what users want to see in an upgrade.
We know that over 120 million people voted in the last presidential election, and we believe that we can capture a small percentage of this market. However, we need to narrow down the subgroups in order to directly reach the people and build the app that they want. Through my work as a Senate aide, I was able to get first-hand knowledge on how political apps are used to inform politicians on current events. Interviews with colleagues showed that there were no apps that are tracking the presidency, but one could be helpful in managing everyday newsfeed. This has allowed us to focus on one subgroup before we prepare for a national launch.
Prexo started as an app that alerted users to state legislation. But after finding existing platforms, and that Americans were restless with the presidency and not state legislation, In Our Hands needed to pivot. After a year break, the Prexo team started researching to see what was frustrating Americans most. We discovered that citizens were upset with the executive branch and confused by media outlets. In many of our interviews, people expressed the uncertainty of trusting media sources because of the biased narrative presented. From our research, we have created Prexo to be an inclusive, bias-free, and revolutionary app that tracks the executive branch.
When we started, our main focus was on the voting population. However, we had to shift our target market because as a free download, the voting population would not provide us with the strongest revenue stream. That is when I started contacting friends and colleagues in Washington and in the State Department to better understand difficulties in their life. From there, we have focused on creating a $2.99 upgrade that could be implemented in a subscription service for a Senate or political office to filter, understand, and share thoughts on specific executive orders. We know this will be impactful because many offices already have similar software for congressional legislation, and we are breaking into the market that follows the U.S. president.
When we began the business idea for Prexo, we reached out to student developers in early last year. When they agreed to help develop the app, we moved forward by entering many pitch competitions. Our first competition that we won was Culver's Business Model Contest. However, many of the other contests that we entered to were canceled because of COVID-19. However, that did not stop us from moving forward. We were a part of the UWO Accelerator program and got funding from GoUDC. Most recently, we've also been accepted into the Idea Advanced Stage 1 for the summer program. Prexo will give easy and organized information to Capitol Hill staffers, bureaucratic agents, lobbyists, and business owners, allowing these individuals to filter executive orders based on their expertise so it's readily available at a moment's notice. We just launched our beta test. Prexo is being used and downloaded by users as we speak. And from our software, we are gaining feedback and critiques on how to better improve our platform.
All of our improvements will be made possible by the 2 incubator programs we were accepted to in this summer. As a part of the UWO Incubator Program and Stage 1 of Idea Advance, we are collecting feedback and funding and able to have mentor meetings, online workshops, and guidance to keep us on track. After the revisions from this summer, we will complete development with the money we have saved to launch Prexo in October 2020, just in time for the presidential election.
Prexo is 4 years in the making. 4 years of trying to best understand how Americans can feel empowered in politics. And in those short 4 years, we have started 2 businesses, created 2 apps, and are breaking into a completely new market of engaged citizens who want to check the power of the presidency.
We are a company made by the people who are fighting for the people's right to have a voice. Support us and be a part of this revolution.
Thank you.